What's up? How you guys doing? Good to see you all. Happy Monday or Tuesday, depending on what part of the world you're from. Good to see you, Tammy, Sonia, Bliss, Chantel. What's up, Starshine? I think I might lower the music. I think it might be a little bit too loud. Yeah. I'm gonna load the music up. Uno momento. Yeah, that's better. How are you guys doing? Good to see you, Erica. We're going to give it a good minute and give everybody a fair chance again here before we start our reading. Honored to have your first reading. First live reading with me. Awesome. Your first live too? Oh yeah, you gotta have the music vibes. Music is always one of the best forms of channeling. When it comes to, when you can't understand like an emotion of a reading, and you have music playing and you have it like on a secret, like on a, like a shuffle on your playlist, all the synchronizations that happen with the songs align. But we're going to be starting off the stream with one person from our last stream that I wasn't able to get to. They were Stephanie Ortiz. So, Stephanie, if you are here, we're going to do your reading. And remember, guys, these are recorded. So, after the live, you can go back and rewatch and get your reading if you had to leave or you're curious to see if maybe your reading passed up. And you can also go in there and also just screen record your specific part of the reading. Oh, you got the Oracle deck? That's awesome. Thank you for supporting, Amanda. Alrighty, so this is the live vibe. You can either get a free reading by commenting your name, a zodiac sign, and your yes/no question format reading. If you are somebody that is super chatting, I have an energy exchange breakdown that is in the description of this live. All you have to simply do is, if you're like on your tablet or if you're on your phone, click on the live. You're going to see the description pop up. If you're on your computer, etc., scroll your mouse over the live, you'll see the description pop up. And then also, if you choose to join the membership team while you are on live, I get a notification, and I give you a 1-card general pull of the energy surrounding you as a welcome as a welcome and a thank you for joining the membership team. And if you need a refresher on anything I just stated, again, just go ahead and check the description of this live, and you can also ask my moderators. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to allow the first group of super chatters to become a cluster. Basically, I'm going to give away probably about 5 readings for free. And during that time, we'll get our cluster of super chatters. Then I'll answer all of their questions in one group. And then we do that back and forth for about 2 hours. All right. So, Stephanie Ortiz, I'm going to do your reading. And then I'm going to do 5 free people. And we'll go from there. Stephanie Ortiz, you were somebody that joined the membership team. Thank you for that. So we're going to go ahead and give you a general card pool of your current law of attraction and your general energy. Let's take these to the side. I feel called to do my Knights. My Knights of the Templar Tarot with you. All right. General card pull, my friend. What we got for you? Okay, so I feel like currently you're involving a big career change. But this specific change, you're gonna have to do a leap of faith. There's really nobody who's gonna have the right answer for you. Like you can get advice from your parents, you can get advice from your best friends, etc. Even if it's great advice, you're the one at the end of the day that's going to have to take on this new level of concentration, specifically is what they're stating for your job. It's not necessarily that you may be having more on your plate. It feels like the same amount of work, but more focus and time and effort. It's interesting. You must be in a very, very particular field. It does seem like some form of like either investigating type of work or just being maybe like an HR for a company. It feels like that's the best way I can explain it. Those are the top things that are coming to my head. Whatever job currently you're figuring out of, man, can I take on the responsibility and the focus that's going to take entering even like this leadership role, etc. I feel that this opportunity, it's here for a reason for you. The decision is always yours. Your guides, though, are telling you, you and I have presented this in front of you if you weren't ready. This is something you've manifested. You absolutely should allow yourself to climb. And the only one that's going to get in the way of you truly having this next step is yourself. That fear, it can be paralyzing. Don't let it turn into your entire existence being a what if. So, your general pull is, when it comes to your law of attraction, it's high vibrational. It's not that because you are in this state of anxiety or etc. that means you're a low vibrational person. Being high vibrational means you're going to experience all the emotions. Being high vibrational means you are meeting the frequency of what you want to see in this world. You're not being a hypocrite, etc. And I see that this person's emotions truly are in depth. And you should take on this new opportunity. It's not going to be there forever. All right. Let's go ahead and get our first free person. All right, Tammy Jones, you're a Leo. Thank you for being here. Your question is, okay, remember, it's the yes-no format. So when you say, what is coming in for me, that I'm going to go ahead and reword that to a way where it's yes-no question. And remember, guys, furthering on, I do try to be lenient. I do try to be understanding with sometimes when people ask questions like that. I'm not going to necessarily always glide over them, but if it becomes a repetitive thing, I will just simply scroll until I see somebody who is doing the format. Again, if you need a reminder, please check the description of the live. And also my moderators are posting, and pinning comments throughout to keep you guys refreshed on how to answer for, how to get into a reading, how to enter to get a free reading and make sure it will be answered. If you want your answer, I need you to follow that format. Okay, so Tammy, do you have any? The only things I'm seeing right now with you specifically, it's career as well. Love is something that is not needed for you to worry about. I see you probably have a pretty healthy relationship, or this just means you're establishing that you're not going to allow yourself to settle in a relationship that's going to remind you of your past. Right now, what they need you to know more is your law of attraction about focusing back on work, specifically. What's that about? Work doesn't feel like a distraction for you anymore. So you used to throw yourself into work. Yeah, you feel pretty stable. What they're wanting you to know is, for a while, your stability had to be a complete center focus, but you do have the ability to share now. You were in a very mute relationship all I can hear is like one-sided conversations. This person probably actually would go like completely mute on you, or even you felt like you were competing for their attention. Something that you never would have made him do, and you kind of just thought, maybe if I eventually, if I just don't give up on him, you know, he's gonna have this realization. He's gonna start treating me the way he says he wants to treat me. But you figured out just throughout time, you know what? I've met this person halfway enough. You've taken years from what I'm sensing to get over this connection, and you really went and threw yourself into work. It was a distraction. You realized that, and you were able to bring a balance. Now you've been receiving signs that, you know, you do have your love life figured out in a way where you know what you want, and you know you're not going to go down paths with people that are about wasting time, that want something different than you. You're direct, but you're still very comforting. And you're your own healthy partner. And Spirit's definitely encouraging you to get yourself back into this dating life, or if there's even a specific person you've started to feel the sense of wanting to really help for unconditionally. Just like, I love helping this person. I can see who they are. I can see how much they do for others. And it feels complete. Then yes, go ahead and allow yourself to further dive into getting to know a romantic connection. Okay. All right. Okay, this is a good one. Great question. All right, Andrew, you're a Sagittarius. You really like a girl at work, and you make a lot of eye contact. You're wanting to know if you should make a move to them. Absolutely, you should. This energy. It's about going in with confidence, but still a comforting space. She doesn't want you to be anything that you're not. What's gravitated her towards you is actually the moments you didn't know anybody was looking. The moments when you were just being your simple self. So if you try to become something you're not, too confident, that's not the right way to put it. Trying to act so confident it can come off as conceited or in vain, that will do the opposite of what you want. Come in with, what I'm hearing is also your kind ability to put yourself in other people's shoes. Something she likes about you is this, there is this space within you that you must work. All I keep seeing is some form of like, you could be working in the restaurant industry or a high demand, stress intense job. And there's just time people are breaking down, and you're able to be somebody that just like holds space. You don't even really have anything to say. It's your presence. It's the intention behind what you do. You absolutely should go for this, but what they're wanting you to do is remember the feeling you come in with is being projected to the other person. If you feel like you're in a moment of anxiety, you know, you may want to wait till a little bit later in the day, later in the shift, where there's kind of like a downtime, and you can feel Spirit literally throwing like this sense of like pulling you up almost. That's when you take the move, not when you're like, oh man, I should do it now. Should I do it now? Should I do it now? If you feel those energies, just remember to see that when it is the right time, Spirit does not make you feel intense. You may feel a heart race. You may feel a moment of, I'm doing this, but it won't be fear, and it won't be yelling at you, and it won't be telling you you have to do this now, or everything is going to be thrown away. This is definitely a connection where Even if you feel more than you ever have for another person as you continue to get to know her, remember that time is everything. Don't rush into saying certain things. Just allow it to be meeting each other halfway for a while. Be a comforting space and let everything else flow. But yeah, you should. Okay. Haley, you're a Scorpio, and you are. Let me mark this down before I forget. All right, Haley, you are a Scorpio, and you're wanting to know, will your Libra ever reach out to you after ghosting you? Yes, they absolutely will. I do actually sense this person wants to come in pretty fast as well. I could see this within the next 2 weeks. But honestly, even more closer to the next 4 days. I see, okay, in about 4 days' time, you're going to have an emotional release with each other. But then there could actually be the ability to meet up, make plans for about maybe 2 weeks out. But remember, when this conversation comes in, if you want things to progress, you cannot continue to harp on the past. There's a difference between bringing to this conversation things that need to be addressed, but then like harping and turning into even a form of mental manipulation. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can accidentally become the manipulator by being so scared that somebody is trying to manipulate you. It sounds crazy. It sounds warped. But that's what PTSD, that's what fear does to people. It can turn you into something you're not. Very interesting. When they want you, well, what they want you to do is when they reach out is listen and don't hold what they thought was happening in the past. Treat who they are now. There was a big misunderstanding, and they know that they were being too paranoid because they okay, I see it completely. This individual is going to say something along the lines of to you as well of like, and I know that you were telling the truth now. I was just so scared, and I was seeing what I wanted to see then, or not even what I wanted to see, but I thought was going to validate what I was feeling, and I realized that I'm just self-sabotaging. I don't want to lose you. It's going to be that energy. It's going to be that intensity. And then you have to allow yourself on your part to really let go and say, okay, I want to go forward. And you let the actions of that person speak for themselves. And then you will gradually, more and more, either figure out if you want to pull back your energy or open up to them. But the only way the door is going to even open up is you remembering that you're only in control of how you react. Right now is the thing that matters, not what happened in the past when both of you were acting out of ego versus self. All right. Okay. Mia Rosella, you're an Aries, and your question is there a new love coming into your life? It looks like currently you've kind of realized a pattern of individuals that you used to attract, and you have actively told the universe, I will not attract in these type of men anymore. Men who are manipulators, who lead through a false, like a false masculine, the ego. Individuals that say they're going to change versus actively listening to me. There's been one past connection that you constantly try to meet halfway. And the thing about this connection is what I'm hearing is that he was not loud. He was not somebody that made you feel scared. He was so mute. Like he just didn't do anything. And that is within itself a whole other form of frustration. And you just got tired of it. And that was something you were like, I need somebody who's motivated. I need somebody who their own motivation is themselves. That independency. And there's nothing wrong with that at all, my friend. You know, you've seen that my tango partner, the individual that I am doing this dance of life with, we have to be on the same level, or else one of us is going to trip over the other. There's a difference between your friends, your family, those individuals, but the person you're going to have as your dance partner, we're all going to have our ups and downs. It's not about being perfect, but they got to be on your frequency. They got to have that heart you do. Everybody's life situations are different, but it's that heart. So as the sense, you are actively telling the universe, this is not what I will deal with. What they want you to do now is you've done a great job at that. Now tell the universe what you do want. Manifestation is definitely important to tell it exactly what you want and exactly what you don't want. But a lot of times people focus on the don't and don't actually think about the what do I look for. A man that has family as one of the most important things. And that does not mean putting blood before family. Family is meaning a soul. It means who treats with respect, who is there for you through the thick and thin. Somebody whose honesty and morals, they will not double cross to make other people feel comfortable. See, that was another thing about whoever your ex is. I'm seeing somebody who never would even defend you for the simple sake of not wanting confrontation. So that's something they need you to deeply tell the universe, is a man who is more than willing to stand up for what's right. It's embedded within his DNA, his code. This is beautiful. Your law of attraction is pulling in a new love. Just what you need to do right now is now focus on telling the universe the qualities you do want in your person, that you know you're deserving of. And reflect and remember already what you decided you won't deal with again. Okay, one more free person, and then we're going to go into our first group of super chatters. Okay. Okay. Guys, please make sure you're putting a yes/no question and your zodiac. Okay, Paige. What's up, homie? You're a Gemini. And you're wanting to know, should you be worried about your finances? I'm suggesting she needs any form of cleansing, but the one I'm feeling called to state is a suggesting one to start. Okay, I'm just doing what I call surfing, a download thingy. So It's not that you need to be worried about your finances, but you need to do a cleanse. I was hearing do an egg cleanse, but that what they're telling me is that is a great start, but there's something even more. You could do an egg cleanse. In case you're not aware of what that is, it's basically the egg you rub on your body, and it absorbs the negative energy and etc. that's not serving you. This is a very fast way of explaining it as well. And then basically, once you've put all of that energy into this egg, you go through like a process of breaking it in water, seeing how the egg yolk, the water, and the whites, how they form. It tells a message, kind of like tea reading, if you've ever heard of that. It's its own type of like protection, though more aspect of it. While it's tea reading is like tarot, it's like actually gaining the guidance. An egg is a cleanse. And then you go through a process of putting spices, herbs, etc. into it to basically cast out that energy. And it's a return to sender spell. Whoever sent you this malevolent will, or low vibrations, or etc., that does not serve you, it returns to that sender. There is a way, though, to also do an egg cleanse for yourself and your own energy. You can go into the intention of an egg cleanse of being like, hey, I don't want this to be about anybody else. And actually, a suggestion I would give you is, if you ever go into an egg cleanse, wanting to do it with the intention of it just being for yourself and seeing what have I thrown on myself that's not serving. Because here's the thing. You have the ability to transmute when it's about yourself. When you send it to somebody else, they have the choice to take their own energy back and either keep it and do a cycle repeat, send it to another person, or harness it, transform it to love, light, and positivity, and embrace the world with that. So when you do an egg cleanse for yourself, you're almost opening up a door to really go from a mindset of I want to change this to also bringing in the physical properties of adding to your own manifestation abilities. Doing an egg cleanse with the intention of breaking your own cycle, your own mental fog, your own malevolent will to yourself, because that's being your own bully. We've all, at some point of our life, given malevolent will to ourselves without even realizing it. You break this shell over thinking that future is something that's far away, not feeling that way about yourself anymore. What's going on, what they're saying with your expenses specifically, you need to relook at how many monthly subscriptions you could have. I'm seeing you could have like a streaming service where you don't even realize you're paying for two different accounts for the same streaming service. Or you have like one of those streaming services where you can add other channels like Paramount and etc. And you may be getting like, you may be double paying for, that's just one simple thing. But it looks like, okay, so there's definitely one double payment that you're making. That's going to save you probably like, 10 bucks a month, and that all adds up, of course. But there's other things as well that this mindset, realizing this, will shift as a trickling effect. How you're spending your money. Are you getting Uber Eats or etc. when you really could go out and buy groceries? I know the convenience and etc. of how great in a sense it can be to utilize that stuff, but you will be spending $20 to $30 more on Uber Eats getting something versus if you would just go yourself to that place, or even use that money to buy groceries and meal prep and etc. for yourself. Times you move and you migrate with the shifts of the world. I sense that your job and etc., that's protected, and there is going to be an increase in finances, but you're going through a moment where you're having to go with the flow and migrate the changes. There may be some monthly subscriptions, there may be things you used to buy for yourself or going out a certain amount that you may have to shift from right now. And with that mindset, you're going to also establish a different level of peace that used to be associated only with finances. Life is about balance, and always when we get put into positions where finances or etc. start becoming something that's making us shake, Spirit has to remind you they're always going to make sure you have enough. It's not that they're always going to give you bare minimum, but there's some times where lessons, energy, the only way you're going to shift to them is by the comforts of stability. I know it sounds like what the fuck, but it's true, and it's not a constant thing throughout your entire life, but there's portions. They're the ebbs and the flows of being on a boat, of surfing, of being in this existence. When you regain this sense of financial freedom, it will feel totally different this time than it ever has before. They want you to entrust that your money, your bills, your job, it's safe. But there is some migrating you have to do with how you're spending your money. And also re-look and see if you have any subscriptions or etc. that really aren't a need. That's what I got for you. All right, now I'm going to start writing down our first group of super chatters. All right. Let's go ahead and go to this next page, actually. Right. All right, we will be starting with Willow B. Tuna. Oh, cool. All right, we'll be starting with you. Mary Fado, you have been added. Christa Hunt, you have been added. All right, Terry Joe, you've been added. AH, you've been added. Amanda Tuttle, you've been added. All right, Firewater 717, you've been added. C. Justine, you have been added. All right, Stephanie 66, you've been added. Tracy 34, all right, you've been added. Yalda, you've been added. Adriana, you have been added. All right, Leslie Spikes, you have been added. All right, Casey, Caddy love. You have been added to the list. And Star Ruby, you've been added to the list. That's going to be our first group of super chatters. Right. What I'll be doing now is I'll go ahead and do all you guys. After this group, I'll do 5 more free people. And I think I'll end up doing 1 more group of super chatters. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do today. 1 more group of free people and 1 more group of super chatters after these guys. And I would say that means we're going to be here for about another hour and 25, hour and 30 minutes. All right, so let's scroll back up to Willow and start, you guys. All right, let me go ahead and take a drink as well. All right, and I want to use my boxer's oracle. All right, Willow, your name is Kat, and you're here for whatever you need to know. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you too, my friend. All right, so let's see, what time is it right now? Got you. We're going to be giving you a past, present, and future poll. What does Spirit want you to know regarding a mental barrier you had regarding a specific connection that's no longer in her life? Okay. Definitely gave 2 different times. Okay. In the current moment, the thing about this connection that you finally let go of is you saw that one person cannot be the only one trying to make things work. You were ready. You were the one that was ready to be able to blend in with each other's life, but this other person put work at like forefront importance. Of course, work is very important, and I can see that both of you are very successful people, but this individual could not organize the time that you are deserving of in a relationship, and they're going to mesh with somebody that has that same mindset of how important work is over time with family. And because I see you're somebody that wants to have a big family or children, or if you already have children, you're wanting somebody that can be a part of their life, not somebody that's just coming in and out, etc. Love is not enough always. Love is important. It's necessary. But to be with somebody, those values, those lifestyle choices, they must align or at least complement each other. You have presently been able to take it one day at a time, getting over this connection, because you know they're always going to have a special place in your heart. But you've came to terms with this is not something that is part of my highest timeline. This is something I would have to settle in spirit, even if in the moment it made me sad, upset. If they saw the bigger picture, they don't care if I have to go through that moment of that hurt to embrace what's really meant for me. Spirit wants you to know right now, you've started to kind of see yourself leaning to a new person. This is the first person you feel like you've actually made it to where you you pay attention to details about who they are, how they speak, what they like, what they eat, how they dress, their mannerisms. This is the first person that's made you sweat. I'm hearing since you released this other connection. And you're afraid that they can hurt you like this person did. The thing is about communication with this new person. It sounds like this is somebody that doesn't really, they haven't heard you express your worries, your fears, or etc. yet. And you're getting to that point of getting to know somebody where to get to those next steps, you got to start opening up doors to those uncomfortable conversations. They are saying you cannot compare this person, and you cannot let your fear really intertwine with how different they are from every other person, even more than that past relationship. They are, how different their mannerisms, their behavior, the things they say to you, how different they are. And you can only have attracted in this person now. What Spirit's wanting you to know is you are correct that it's time for you to also allow your emotions to unravel to another person. Have the uncomfortable conversations. But don't let your fear start looking for things to be paranoid about. Don't let your fear start making things fit. And saying, see, there's the red flag. See, there's the thing that we were waiting to be. This person, not everybody has like a hidden motive, or they're keeping something. I think even growing up in life, it was like there was always this sense of finding out there was a secret being kept, or having to really pry hard to find the truth. And this is not somebody you have to do that with. What they say is solid. What they say is gold. And that's why they don't question you. That's why they don't question the things you say, because they trust that you're not going to be somebody that just says something and doesn't mean it. The way they treat you is a reflection of what they feel and respect within themselves. See, your other past relationships, they were deeply, overly paranoid because there was their actions. They were doing things that were unfaithful and were projecting it onto you. This individual, they're one with self. They follow their compass, and they trust themselves enough to trust you. This is a connection that they definitely want you to continue to let thrive. This is a connection that can definitely formulate into more with time. Okay. All right, next person. Get a drink. All right. Mary Fado. You'd like to know, does Frank love you? Frank is still in a big state of getting to know you. Okay, I do see in the longevity it becoming that intensity of a feeling. But right now, I don't see somebody that believes in love at first sight. I see somebody that wants to continue to go and get to know you. I do see somebody who's probably ghosting you right now. So that's why you're getting into this state of like, yo, why do their actions act like they love me? But then this happens. This individual, it's going to take them quite a while to open up. If that's something for you that is a no-go, if you're somebody that's more wanting things to go at a faster pace, your ideas when it comes to being partners may clash. The feelings are there. If you're willing to see that with time this can develop into more, I do see a great connection between you two. And if you're wanting to vocalize your concerns, it's always about presentation over speaking words. You shouldn't be afraid to talk about what's going on in your mind, but just make sure you're not projecting your energy onto another person versus saying, hey, I'd like to talk to you about something if you're cool. Something that's on my mind, and I'd like to have communication with before my, anxiety or etc. tries to jump to conclusions. Every human being can fill in the blanks when they don't know the ins and outs of what's going on behind a person. Sometimes somebody has ghosted you. A lot of times somebody has ghosted you, not because it's anything to do with you. They are literally like so overstimulated with everything going on in their life. They don't even have the energy to talk to another person. Sometimes a person's going through something very hard and they're like, man, my energy sucks right now. I don't want to throw it onto somebody. So I'm going to ghost. I'm going to put myself into a recluse. I'm going to become, I'm going to go into my hermit mode. And our minds can tend to just think it's something to do with us instantly. Oh, I must have done something to make them not want to talk to me. They're over it. I'm annoying to them. They're bored with me. When it's literally none of it. This connection is something you should allow more time to thrive before even the word love has to be something that's so deeply important. Okay. All right, Christa Hunt, you are wanting a general card pull. Let's do that for you. Okay, so currently you're waiting for a response when either it comes to like a job interview or a new opportunity. And I see that this is very close to the horizon, okay? Within the next 2 weeks, you're definitely going to be answering a call that turns into accepting an offer. Something Spirit is saying for me to focus on with you as well. This is interesting. It's so different than what we were talking about before. You're eating too much sweets. As soon as I started channeling your energy, I felt toothaches. Like right down here especially. You are eating too many sweets, and you may want to just look into, like, I'm not saying this in a way where I'm not getting vibes that like you're like this person that has like bad hygiene or like your mouth or something like that, but it just feels like maybe you're not flossing. Maybe it feels like maybe you could be somebody that drinks a lot of soda or eats like hard candy, etc. And with time, that's going to really, really eat up your teeth if you don't keep up with things like flossing and etc. And also, your mouth health, your mouth is directly connected to your heart. A lot of people don't realize that. Oral hygiene is so imperative for your heart health. Again, my friend, I'm not saying I see somebody with like bad hygiene. It's normal. A lot of people forget to floss. A lot of people eat a lot of candy. A lot of people drink things with sugar. Maybe switch to, if you drink soda, maybe try to switch to zero or diet or lower the amount you're allowing yourself. But that's what the two very interesting things I have for you. All right, Terry Joe, you are wanting a general pull. What do we have for you? I see you're getting out of a burnout zone. You started seeing what parts of your old schedule no longer fit, what was outdated, what was exerting more energy and actually hindering you versus helping you. So this could have also been some relationships. This could have been stuff in your house that was just taking up space for a very long time. But you've felt called to migrate and even like reorganize. Spirit's saying that you're figuring out your line more and more every day to where you got to stop before you get into burnout energy. You're a very hard worker. And when you put your mind to something, no matter if it's something as simple as putting a desk together, a cabinet, a bookshelf together, or something as imperative as helping your best friend drive across the country to move somewhere else. I don't know why. Those are just the two things that came into my fucking head for you specifically. No matter what it is, you're going to put your complete power into it the whole time. Getting a new job, etc. But you have already won. You've worked so hard to get where you are. And humans tend to do this thing where we get to our goal and then we instantly, before we even celebrate that we got to the goal, set something higher. Continuously, always raising the bar for yourself. And that got you to where you are now. But remember, you're there now. It's time to celebrate. It's time to nourish and see that yes, things are going to continue to expand, but you've worked a certain amount to get to where you don't have to work that intensity. Your mind just has to shift with that realization, with your body. But Spirit's very proud of you. And right now, the biggest thing is about cherishing and honestly keeping up with that good sleep schedule you've started to have. You're an individual that could have been somebody that, like, I say that you as somebody that wakes up pretty early, but it's like you would go to bed late to begin with. So you were like somebody that would never even get like 8 hours of sleep. That can only work for so long. Continue that flow. That's what I got for you. All right, AH. All right, you're a Sagittarius, and you'd like to know if you should walk away from your situation. Masculine energy, the willpower to see. Should I power through this? Should I go forward in order to meet long-term goals? I can see why this is hard in your mind, because this is a good person. This is not an asshole. This isn't somebody that like disrespects you. I just see somebody where it's like you're at two different parts of your life. Two totally different mindsets on importance, on priorities, but the hearts, those two hearts connect. You can't change, you can't love somebody or be, okay, you can't be with somebody for who you see them to be one day. You have to be with somebody and love them for who they are now. And go and flow with who they develop into. This connection is something that has to separate for further growth. I don't see them telling me that this is somebody that they're not going to end up crossing paths again. I see honestly quite a few timelines where you cross paths. You talk, you get through this, but in all of those times, it definitely takes quite a while of cleansing from each other. I feel that this individual is the one who's more young-minded. You're masculine. Mm-hmm. You're the one that has progressed to a different level. But the heart is always going to stay the same between. Spirit wants you to let go of trying to pursue this and make this happen. Or even if you're in a committed dynamic together, you know, sit down and have that conversation of explaining more than why you, it's going to be a weird way to word it, but the things you need to explain to him are more why you chose to stay for so long. Because he has been self-deprecative, as very much so from what I can hear as well. Like, why do you even love me? You could get somebody better than me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, have you ever thought for a second why I dealt with this for so long? It's because of how much you're not the things you think you are. But I learned I can't make you love yourself. I need to go find me, and you need to go find yourself. I'm not giving up, and I'm not saying that I never want this again, but we can't be focused on getting back together. We need to be focused on getting to know ourselves. And when the time is right, I do see Spirit putting you two in a position to be able to really see where this goes. And there's a big possibility in between that time, you guys will have other connections that you learn lessons with, okay? All right. Amanda Tuttle. You're an Aquarius. I reposted a video about always loving someone and finding peace. It helped you. That's awesome. I'm glad it helped you. Can I expand it for you? Okay. You wanted me to expand that for you. This connection, so your souls, you are soul ties. And here's the thing about soul ties. We don't just have one, and they're not just romantic. We have soulmates and we have soul ties. Soul ties are individuals that your sentientnesses, you were created at the same time, the Big Bang, if you will, okay? And then in every lifetime, these souls, they meet. They're destined to meet each other. They're not destined to stay together. That's left path, right path choices. Humans have freedom of will. That's where you find the understandings between destiny and freedom of will. Soul ties are platonic, family members, romantic, and even things like nature. When you feel that undying pull to water, or that undying pull to being somebody who wants to like work with like fire breathing, or like those types of things, like the, you know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to think of the cool name. It's like when it's like when they flip around fire on like nunchucks and like chains and things. I'm just saying that right now. Somebody here is definitely a fire sign. Interesting. Maybe that could even be a channel message regarding. Now I'm saying more like macabre, Halloween type based, like aesthetic. This could be even more picking up on the person, their type of flow, or their type of presentation in this world. Spirit, what they're making you aware of, when they state that you've always loved each other, it comes more than even this lifetime. It comes more to even past lifetimes. It comes before physical objects were even a thing. Before you could provide for each other. It was just stars. It was just peace. In the most mundane way we can explain it, you both chose to want to experience finding each other again. But to find each other, you had to forget. And also, part of finding each other isn't always just finding the two souls. It's the other soul ties. It's the other experiences you have throughout the entire existence. They're a checkpoint continuously in your life. As you continue to learn these lessons, there's somebody that is mirroring that lesson. This person is a reflection, but they're also somebody who can hold your hand and can help you stand up, shift the weight. This is a connection that in every lifetime, you're going to meet each other. In this specific lifetime, there's to be more, though. You've had lifetimes where you were able to stay together. You had lifetimes where you never were able to even meet in the sense of the physical bodies. You've had a lifetime where you were like star-crossed lovers in a sense. Okay, I'm seeing it's this lifetime. In this lifetime, you spent a while. You could have met during even like maybe like COVID or etc. when you had to be in a long-distance relationship for a while. And as soon as you met, you realize that this was like somebody you could truly say like I can settle down with. The thing about this connection is it's still being protected for further growth. The emotions, I do see the tides flowing in, so we could even have a water sign more here. We have a fire and a water sign, so you guys are complementary to each other as well. This is somebody that there's a lot more to your story in this connection with, and they need you to be met halfway, though. This person loves you, but doesn't know how to verbalize it yet, or at least come back in and say, I'm still in love with you. But they don't want you to assume that this is over. Don't put your eggs in all one basket, but telling the universe that this failed, or that you're thinking about them for no reason, you're making things up, it doesn't help your timeline at all. All it does is make you question your own intuition. You could be receiving these signs, but it doesn't mean that Spirit's saying that they're going to be in your life tomorrow. It's about something blossoming and thinking about like a plant literally growing from a seed. So this is a connection that's a soul tie, and that's why you continuously love each other in every lifetime. And no matter what you two do, you will always love each other, but that does not mean you just deal. That does not mean that you're destined to stay in every lifetime together. All right. All right, Firewater. You want to know how P feels about your connection, and will he reach out soon? You are a Leo, and he's an Aries. Is this person going to reach out soon? This person is not going to reach out soon. You remember, I'm here for you, okay? This does feel like you're ripping a Band-Aid type of energy, but you've been waiting around for a long time for this individual, and I'm seeing somebody that gave you breadcrumbs, okay? You're being divinely guided. You're being protected from this type of connection. This person does not plan on reaching out to you anytime soon. All right. See, Justine. You'd like a general read. What do I have for you? Okay, so you've definitely set a lot of healthy boundaries when it comes to your romantic life. You've hit your final straw, and I feel that you won this last mission. You've seen the light at the end of the tunnel, and you finally gotten there. You've broken free from a connection that was making you feel weighed down for a while. You're always going to have a place in your heart for them. But now you have the ability to really, really start the next part of your life. You had to get through that round, and it was hard, and you tried, and you tried your best to make it a clean fight, if you will, like in the sense of boxing. But this person got dirty and you had to defend yourself. But you powered through. You saw the lessons. You don't regret the decisions you made. You voiced your opinion and you can leave with your head forward. There's definitely a lot more for you to be able to explore now and say yes to. And more than even love. This could be in friendships that come with new territory. Stephanie. All right, Stephanie, 66. C contact you after weeks of no contact. What are his feelings and intentions towards you? What are his feelings and intentions towards you? Well, this person definitely, in the most peaceful way I can explain to you, they meant what they said. I'm hearing some ruthless words. I'm hearing somebody who definitely did not want to hurt you, but feels that it was the only way to get things through. This person, their intentions and feelings are for you both to be able to respectfully move on with each other's lives. And I know that may feel like a sting right now, but this is a divinely guided and protected dynamic. I'm hearing this person helped you with an ego death. That doesn't mean you did something wrong. That doesn't mean you were being like a conceited person or cocky or anything like that. An ego death is about a realization within yourself. I see that they helped you see your chaser tendencies. This person helped you see when you can go from getting a cookie from a person and feeling the energy like they gave you like the whole entire batch. You can see much clearer now when you need to put up a barrier within yourself and how much you give and how fast you give of yourself. So allow yourself to grow from this connection. All right, Tracy.
Gryffindor!
You're a Cancer. And alrighty. So remember that I do not answer questions about like a divine counterpart, when you're going to meet them, etc. when it comes to a YouTube live. My true understanding, what my guides have told me, and what feels justified. There is no way for something as that deep of a question, with all of these other energies surrounding you, that you're going to get a completely accurate reading off a one-card pull with such an intense question. I understand it, and if that makes you guys mad and you choose to migrate, I give you peace and love. If you would like to find a reader that tells you what you want to hear, go for it. What you're getting here is reality. I don't know many readers who are energetically aligned with what I do, who would answer a question like that and tell you 100% doubt in a one-card pull when you're going to meet. More power to the ones that truly can do that. Awesome. But I'm going to rewrite that question for you, okay? So, do you have any suitors in your life currently who could be your divine counterpart? This will tell you if you've even met them or not. They are around you. You've met your divine counterpart. This person is surrounding your life. They could be a friend of a friend. Because I'm seeing somebody that you don't have like a deep connection to. But you have like a best friend or somebody that is the connection. Somebody you have a deep, deep friendship bond. Even if like you're really close with your sister or etc. And it's somebody connected to them. There is absolutely already been an interaction between who you and your divine counterpart is in your existence. All All right. Yalda. Yobald. I'm sorry, I don't want to say your name correctly. But your name, I believe, is pronounced Yalbalda. And you're wanting to know where you are in your spiritual development. All right, you're ready for that next step. You see, you've hit a point of balance where you don't let the excitement, the fireworks, burn you out. You go above and beyond, and then once that state of oomph is gone, you've already exerted all yourself, so you will kind of like retreat back from the progress you made. The spiritual development part you were on is realizing the level of work you do does not equal to your own worth. They're two totally separate things. You work not to the point of feeling pain. You work until you see, okay, I've been productive, but if I don't take this time to nourish, I'm going to end up getting burnt out. I know that sounds a little repetitive right there, but what I'm feeling within my head is somebody that you probably have to speak to yourself out loud to really hear. Even write down affirmations, guidelines, if you will, for yourself, boundaries. The part of your spiritual development you're in is you're able to take on a new set of energy because you've seen what parts that helped you for so long are outdated. You're willing to vocalize. You don't let your emotions wrap around you. You migrate with those frequencies. You're not scared of doing something wrong. You're understanding that failure is part of the purpose, and failure is how you succeed. You're actually far farther on this spiritual journey than you give yourself credit for. All right, Andrea. Let me take a drink as well. Okay. All right. Andrea. Andrea Christina. What should you expect from the person in your mind on love and business partnership? Well, it's going to be one question, so we're going to focus on the first thing, which is love. So you want to know what you should expect from your person regarding this love. I feel that this person has not spoken up about something you said that could have rubbed them the wrong way. You see, we do not have a choice on how others react to us setting our own healthy boundaries, right? But we can reflect and put ourselves in their shoes and remember, who is it coming from? Is a misunderstanding coming from somebody who you've always had a different level of respect, and maybe it's somebody that's just having a bad day, or maybe your own paranoia could read things in a way that that person didn't intend. It doesn't invalidate you, but it's an understanding. I feel that this individual, there is like a sensitive topic you need to talk about, and it could have been a big misunderstanding. But if this person is important enough for you to bring this up, remember that you probably will also have to give each other some time to really marinate on what was said. You can't be mad that you had to set up a healthy boundary with somebody and they chose to separate from you. I do sense this connection being able to come back, though, and it's not a very long separation, because the communication, that type of ice, if you will, seems to be broken. Seems to be on thin ice. So this is going to come to a resolution sooner than you think. All right, Leslie Spikes. You're a Gemini. And you would like to know, will your ex come back, who is a Virgo? Spirit's wanting you to focus on, even sometimes though we want something to come back. Is it truly what is best for you? It feels that this connection, it's more of like avoiding harm. It feels like you were kind of stepping on each other's toes. Right now, it's still not yet time for you guys to align. There's still some lessons, and I'm sensing that other people's opinions or influence could have gone in between you two. And your personal peace, that is the most important thing. This person and you have been through a lot together. And I do see that there's still a light on, meaning you guys meeting again in person. But I also see that that light is pretty far in the distance. You're still in the tunnel. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. This person and you have the ability to come back into each other's life, but right now you need to focus on still being on this separate direction. They have some malevolent influences. They have some people that it looks like could have been kind of like childhood friends, almost individuals where it's like, it's a difference between having a childhood friend who decides to grow with you. That's fucking beautiful. That's like what everybody wants, right? Versus, though, having childhood friends who almost try to keep you back and stay in this frequency because they're not willing to grow. Or even family members, etc. It feels that this person, you know, they could also have some people that enable around them, and that's why they also they like to stay more comfortable with individuals that just kind of like enable their tendencies. You're in a divine intervention, my friend. So they want you to see that right now the focus should not be on if he's coming back. It's that you're separated for a reason. Right. Caddy Love. You're a Scorpio. Will your son ever forgive you and come back into your life? He's an Aquarius. I got you. So your son's going to forgive you. It feels like he needs to hear an apology from you. You always did everything you could. You loved him. You wanted him to be paired. You wanted him to not experience what you did growing up to the point where you could have pushed him too hard. It did not come from a place of vain. It did come from a place of genuine love and believance in him. And I know that you may feel that you have said sorry, and we're not acting like that didn't happen. We're gonna acknowledge it. Yes, you said sorry, but the trauma I feel embedded within this person, there are a lot of things they've never felt comfortable to say to you. And there have been times where the thing is you apologize, but then you say the word but. I'm sorry, but I was just doing what was best for you. And you're not hearing necessarily everything that they're saying. I am not discrediting how much work and depth and realization and reflection you've done. But what I'm hearing is, if you want that relationship with your child, you're the one that has to come in and say sorry. You're the one that has to show that, you know, they're an adult now. And that you see them as that. You don't see them and you don't treat them like they're still this little child of yours. This is repairable, but the only way it's going to be repaired, my friend, is if you bring him that energy and those words and that communication. Okay. Star Ruby. Is pH a soul tie? Let's see. All right, remember, I'm here for you. This is not a soul tie. This is not your person, okay? This individual feels like a lesson, somebody that was more of a, kind of like a karmic connection. And karmic doesn't mean terrible, horrible, abusive. Karmic means that they were here to bring a whoa-ho, a reality check. Something that was definitely not a person that you're like destined to meet in every lifetime. It's not that deep of a connection. There is still feelings here. There is still a lot of movement, of course. But no, this is not your divine counterpart. This is not your person. They want you to now take it one step at a time, knowing that you haven't met who your divine is yet. I don't feel them in your lifetime yet. You've yet to see that face. So don't continue to chase something that spirit is the ones putting the walls up to. There's a difference between when somebody that's meant to be in your life is running away from the connection because it's fear-based, and spirit's still sending you the signs of, it's figo, it's fear, it's ego. So we are telling you to prevail forward, versus spirit being actually the ones that's like putting the fucking walls down and are like, dude, stop. This is protecting. We're protecting you. That's the type of energy I receive within your reading. No, this person's not the individual that's going to bring you your tangle partner wish fulfillment. All right, so that concludes the first group of super chatters. What we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and create the next group of super chatters. And before we do that group, I will go ahead and do 5 more free people. Okay? All right, so let's start making that next group. All right. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my Oracle cards. I appreciate that deeply. You're dope. All right, Stephanie. You put another one down. I got you. Hell ye. You were wanting a general pull this time. I got you. Thor the Explorer. You have been added to the list. All right. Esco. Mary. You've been added. All right. Little Love Son. Shine. Got you. Thank you for resubscribing. Resubscribing to the membership. We'll get you a general pull for this month. Hanna A. You've been added to the list. JM ZV323. You've been added to the list. Sharon Rice. You are on the list. Suman. You are on the list. What's up, brother Alvin? Good to see you. Got you. Michelle. Reneso. You have been added to the list. Nikki Minko. You have been added to the list. All right. We'll go ahead now and do 5 free people. You guys still have the ability to super chat for probably about, I'd say, 15 to 20 more minutes. And then after that point, you'll hear me do the cutoff for the guaranteed super chatters for this live. But of course, everybody that does still super chat gift after the cutoff will be the first people answered in my next live stream tomorrow. Okay, so let's scroll back up to Stephanie. All right, cool, perfect. Let's go ahead. Also, we will be going, excuse me, I need to trim the beard. It's gotten to the point where things always, every single time, once it starts getting like here, and once this starts getting a little bit under the lip enough, everything you drink, you eat, gets stuck. Anyways, after this live today, we're going to go on an after stream on Twitch. Over there, I give away 1 free reading every single live stream, and we decompress together playing video games. I also answer random questions you guys have regarding spiritual stuff, tarot, etc. So, if you don't get your reading here today, you still have a chance of winning a free reading later tonight. Simply just got to migrate with us over to Twitch at UncleBronze Official. And the link is associated in my profile. And basically, you just follow me, and then there's a keyword of the chat that's on my screen that you put into the comments, and that automatically enters you in. But okay, our first free person for now. Let's see. All right, Madison Pisces. You have a question, and that is, will you and this guy you are talking to get together? Will you and this guy you are talking to get together? Spirit's definitely saying you are on a good page together, all right? But this individual, you're still in a big time right now where there's a lot of left path, right path choices that can be made. The talking stage you are in, going ahead and like expressing you want to be together, or that you're really, really, really into this guy, it would make him go the other direction. It would scare him off. He would take it as like, man, she's already wanting too much. But I do sense that they have an attraction to you. I do sense that this person's in that state of wanting to get to know you. They don't believe in love at first sight. They don't feel like this rush, but they do absolutely see the potential as you continue to get to know each other more. Okay? If you focus too hard now on only being together, you're going to miss the whole purpose behind it. All right. All right, Hanna A. You're an Aries. You'd like to know, does Rick think of you? Does Rick think of you? Yeah, he absolutely does think about you, and how it didn't end the way that he wanted it to. And he does wonder, is this something that we could progress into more? You know, she still kind of has she still has the key. So do you have something of his? Like, do you have a key to his place? Or maybe this is more like the key to the heart. And so maybe it could be something like a piece of clothing, something important. Is there something in your garage that's his? It feels like this individual is thinking about reaching out to you with a common ground, something that would make sense to reach out about, picking up, or wondering if he could come by and see. Interesting. But yes, this person does think about you, and they think about how it didn't go the way either of you wanted it to go, but maybe today things are different. Okay. All right. Okay. Sacred Tree. Your initial is T. You're a Virgo, and you want to know, will J change his mind and want to meet up with you? Will Jay want to change his mind and meet up with you? Currently, this person does not plan on changing their mind. Or I know people don't plan to change their mind. Spirit showing the forecast is he doesn't plan to change his mind. There's an imbalance within this connection. I don't feel somebody you can be vulnerable with. This is a form of a divine intervention. You know, you can only try to meet somebody halfway for so long. They're wanting you to see that this connection, the reason that the imbalance came was because you were being yourself. Go with me here. You were defending, you were speaking your mind, and whoever this person was attached to does not want somebody that really speaks their mind. They may act like they do, but they want somebody that's going to just kind of bow down to what they want, how they want things to go, and how the relationship is to have healthy boundaries. I'm just seeing somebody who didn't like you being alone. Like, they didn't, not even alone, with other people. If you two would enter a relationship, this actually would have been something where you would have felt pretty isolated from a lot of other people that care about you. The timeline I see with this connection is that this was more a karmic person. This was somebody that was meant to teach you what you've decided to let go of. You see the red flags. You see that You didn't have to meet up with this person and go through the same exact thing you did with another person before. You decided before we meet up, before we really get this going to the next level, I want you to know something about me. I want us to talk about a sensitive, important topic that maybe people in the past you would have waited to talk about. And you had gone through this cycle of getting to know somebody, and then this happens, and then you feel like you're restarting all over again. And this time, I'm hearing you allowed yourself to speak up and state the truth. And just because they denied that truth, or because they decided then that this was not what's for them, meant you did something wrong at all. You're going to be able to meet somebody else that really is going to be able to give you true fulfillment, and where you don't feel like you have to hide a part of yourself for. All right. All right, Anna, you are a Cancer, and you'd like to know, are you going on the right direction regarding a possible connection? Yeah, you are going the right direction. You're not pressuring this. You're definitely fine. Like, you're vibing, you're flowing. You're not used to yourself being okay with this much, like, distance or in between of communication. This person's making you realize, they've helped you see, when you have real connections, even though it's great to talk all the time, you don't have to. When a connection is meant for you, it doesn't matter how far away you are from each other. You can see that it just makes the heart grow fonder. You're also not allowing yourself to hold back, though. You are being, confident and assertive of what you want. And there's this effortless feeling between you two. You are absolutely on the right direction regarding this connection. Okay, Sarah, you're a Leo. Have you already met the person that you're going to be with? Have you already met the person you're going to be with? Yes, you have already met the person you're going to be with, but they have been a background character in your life. This is not a best friend. This is not somebody you've ever had really a deep personal conversation with. You've had interactions, I'm saying like a friend of a friend type of vibe, or even like a coworker, somebody that you would know their name and you would recognize their face, but you have never hung out one-on-one together. This is somebody that Spirit's going to bring them back into your life. You're not currently, I don't see somebody that like you're currently in communication, like I don't see somebody that in any current like party, group gathering, work scenario that you've been in has been there. You're going to meet because of like some form of reunion, a birthday party, a friend that's getting married, and you just both so happen to be there and reconnect, and you see each other again, and it's a really different way than you've ever thought when you felt when you saw them before. So yes, you have. They're not currently in your life, but it looks like Spirit's about to intertwine your lives back together. All right. I'm going to go ahead now and write the rest of the super chatters who had super chatted since Nikki. This is your last moment, guys. If you'd like to submit a super chat and have your answer guaranteed by the end of this stream, you're going to have about, like, I'd say a minute to 2 more minutes to do that while I write these other names down. And we will go from there. go. All right. Jessica Hernandez, you're added to the list. All right. Caddy Love, got you on the list. Katie Love. Area, you've been added to the list. Alrighty, guys. So that is it for the confirmed super chatters for this stream. I called your name. Anybody now at this point who goes and heads in super chat, you will be the first people I answer on the next live stream. Also, if you're interested in joining the membership team while you're on here, you will get a general poll as a welcome and thank you for joining the membership team. All right. Let's scroll back up, starting with Stephanie. And I think I saw that Stephanie was meant to post a question, but she wasn't able to when she gave her super chat. So what I'll do is I'll scroll down right now. Stephanie, go ahead and ask her question. I'll wait for it to pop up. And that was Stephanie's 66. Stephanie. All right, this is what I'm going to do. Stephanie, I'll look out as I go through to see if you pop up your message. If you don't, then I'll just do a general poll for you after everybody else. So, all right, we're going to move on to Thor the Explorer. Let's go back up. Let's see, Thor the Explorer. There we go. Alrighty, let's do this. Your name is Tiffany. You're a Taurus, and you'd like to have a general reading. Okay, let's see what Spirit has for your general reading, my friend. Okay, so currently you've surpassed your expectations when it comes to, okay, this person surpasses your expectations. You're attracting in a lover who's very emotionally aware. In the recent days, if not, okay, let me reword that. What I'm seeing right now is a span of right now into about 2 weeks. A connection you already know is going to develop into more. So this could be somebody that you've been talking to for a while, and as you've continued to be able to get closer, it's like they check off more and more of your boxes. I see you being invited out and having a real conversation of like, hey, like, you know, we've been getting to know each other for a while. I'd like to take this to the next stage. Or even a communication, like opening up to you in a way that they haven't with somebody before, and you being able to open up to them. If you guys have never been intimate, and that's something that's an important thing to you, I see this being able to be like you feel comfortable enough. Like this person has not proven, but has in a sense shown you their true intentions, and that is only a great added benefit from what they want to begin with, which is who you are. Your general energy is to see that there's a romantic connection that's thriving in your life as we speak. Right. All right. Next person. All right. Esco Mary, 11 gem. You would like a general card pull. Right now, you're not feeling like you have a partner that's meeting you halfway. There could be a connection. You're feeling like you're really overexerting. You're trying to continuously get this person to meet you halfway, but there's like an emotional block. This connection, I can see how bad you want to hold on to it. And it's not that spirit saying to pack your bags and completely go, but there does need to be a change in your actions if you're wanting their actions to change. I can see that you could have some enabling tendencies to your own neglect. I'm not throwing this all on you at all, okay? But we teach people how they're allowed to treat us, and what we will and will not deal with, and what we end up just succumbing to. It feels like this person has made you burnt out, and you're not really necessarily even in love with them. You're in love with who they used to be. You can only exert communication so much before you have to see if the connection is really still... if the connection really still has even room to develop, or if all of the grass is dead. It feels like you could be trying to water dead grass. I understand deeply how much you have sacrificed a long part of your life for this, is what I'm hearing, as well as this connection. But your life is not meant to just stay in this state of succumbing. Okay? We have people that come into our life for a reason. And I just see somebody that becomes an energy sponge. Like they drain. There has to be a separation for further growth. Whether that means emotional, physical. But the biggest thing for you to understand is you cannot expect them to actually keep their word with this change if you... I really see somebody almost... It's more of even like going into like a work sense as well, where somebody who doesn't like get off. Like they don't get off like the couch. They don't get off the bed. They're just simply somebody that's just like sitting there like a zombie watching TV or whatever. And of course we need relaxation, but everything in life is about a balance. I mean, this is some serious weight that you're holding on yourself. They want you to know the general pool with your law of attraction. You know, you can only continue to get if you can. You can only continue to get these low vibrations if you don't now set that. If you don't set that healthy boundary up. Okay, I know that this one sounds pretty like I'm telling you, this person confuses the crap out of you. Being in there, I can feel you going around, and it's like this person will hear everything you're saying and then wait to like have things to pick on, like say, oh, you didn't say that right, or you could have said that a different way. Somebody that doesn't even hear your complaints, they more just want to get a reaction out of you, and that's exhausting. If there's a connection, you're wondering if they're going to end up coming back, if you're burnt out from it, the answer, it looks like, is a release is needed. Depending on your home situation, this either means like literally separating parts of the home, if it's different bedrooms, or if this is somebody you're already, living separately with, and this is more just the emotional breakup. You have to do what's best for you, not best for what will be for them. I hear that maybe a big part of you also is like, I don't think there's anybody else that could be able to love them the way I do, or etc. There just seems to be a kind of a trap energy here. So reassess, okay? The choice is always yours, but the energy does feel like a cycle repeat within this connection. All right. Little love, sunshine. You need a general direction and clarification to move forward with housing or finances. Okay. Let's see. Direct. You could be trying to get a home that is above either your monthly payment that you told yourself you can make, or even if this is a home that you're trying to buy, it's above what you've stated. What they're wanting you to know right now is you can tend to be somebody who is so gung-ho about putting your all. And this is great. This is something that nobody will ever be able to take from you. And you have a vision about the way you want your home or your next place to look. And Spirit is saying that vision is not gone. But right now may not be the best time to try and buy a brand new home. You may want to look into something that has a little bit more life to it, because the way homes are being built now, there's a lot of cutting corners. Looking back in a house that has some, I hear that we're a house that's going to bring you a general wish fulfillment. It's definitely a blend of like an older home that's been modern and updated, but it's almost even in this kind of like rural area. If you've had some form of a guidance to make a deal or sign a lease for something that's above a little bit above what you wanted your monthly payments to be, don't let the ego of wondering if this is the best thing you're going to get and you just have to go ahead and change that healthy boundary you set for yourself end up being something that makes you literally see the place of peace as a place of destruction. You're going to have another home, you're going to have another area that you're going to be able to actually do savings with. Don't let the vision of the way the place has to physically look in that exact moment stop the process of seeing that things take time. And one step closer to that place may be right now renting somewhere versus trying to buy. All right. All right. Hanna 8. You're an Aries. And you just want a general card pull. All right, you're at a finish line. You've been fighting in like this last round. And you're right at that finishing line before what is it with? Is it with a job? Is it with a career? Is it with self? Something about self-preservation. You're feeling defeated. You're feeling like you're feeling like your surroundings are supporting you, but that something overall could be like taking your energy. There's a spiritual protection barrier that you have up, and what Spirit's wanting you to understand is who you are. You're going to absorb what's happening around you. Sometimes you feel things. A lot of times you feel things that aren't even yourself, or that have literal thoughts that aren't yourself. You can feel the fear of others, the self-deprecation. And you need time to cleanse yourself. And that's a big thing that they're wanting you to do right now. You're somebody that the general energy they want with you is, if you haven't done some form of a cleanse or even a shower cleansing ritual in a while or ever, something that would really benefit you to focus on doing every month would be a monthly egg cleanse, shower cleanse, home cleanse, etc. You have a lot of energy you've been storing. You've had a lot of moving parts coming in and out of your house, whether that's some new modifications to your appliances or whatever. You've had some people in that it's momentary. It's momentary. They're not friends coming by for a moment. It's like professional. There could have been somebody that came into your home and they're wanting you to see that when you enter somebody into your space, even those little momentary times, it is very important to go ahead and do a cleanse after those individuals leave. You don't have like anything malevolent around you. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but there is a lingering. There is this state of a heavy fog that could be kind of like dampening the energy in your home. But go ahead and do a cleanse with white sage. True, yes. Yeah, this needs to be a complete reset. And also doing an egg cleanse for yourself would really, really help clear some mental fog. All right. Let me take a drink. All right. JM. ZV323. You have a general card pull you would like. Currently, you're not investing. And so currently, it looks like you have really shifted your finances away from like a home improvement as well. A lot of you here are doing things that are either about home improvement, moving to a new area, having to make big leaps of faith, and even shift where your finances were going for a while. The general energy for you is, if there are some things in your house that need to be updated, that is something that's going to lead to, if you fix it now, it's going to lead to not having problems in the future. It could be something to do with like, it really does feel like something with water. So this could be plumbing. This could be even like, now I'm feeling like the cold and that's where it could be as well. Something to do with a leak. Is there like a leak with your fridge, a faucet, something? Right now, be proactive in fixing this, because in the long run, it's going to actually end up giving you a lot more trouble. But this is also a synchronization with something that's going on with a personal clog as well. Your general energy is, you've kind of clogged yourself up from talking to people. There's been a lot of fear-based decision-making. And this time frame of life, community is more important than ever. Spirit wants you to understand your friends, the ones that are here for you, they don't sweat the small stuff. Okay? That synchronization with what's going on with your home, with the appliance or etc. Another thing is, you may be thinking this whole entire thing needs to be thrown out, but really it just needs to be refurbished. It doesn't need to necessarily be replaced. There's just little parts that can be fixed. And there's like a friendship that feels like that's like this whole entire synchronization with this water, this clog is aligning with. You have a found family member. You have a friend that they're saying you're both going to be able to invest a lot more time together and can even help each other out. It's a family friend. It's a long friend, a long-time friend that you haven't spoken to in a long time. Yeah. And this is a time that where this community, again, is very deeply needed. There's been paranoia and self-deprecation and self-destructive tendencies that kept you away from some of your friends and some of your friends away from you. Some are divine interventions and some are meant to stay out of your life, but this person who's coming back is not meant to stay out of your life. You guys separated and went on your own journeys, but your friendship from teenage years or your young adult, it can more than flourish in these adult years of your life. Yeah. All right. Sharon Rice. You're an Aquarius, and he's a Gemini. You'd like to know if you guys are soulmates. All right, so this is a connection that I would say it surpasses soulmates. This is a soul tie type of connection. The feeling is that you've met each other before. This is more than fireworks. This is more than sparks. This is warmth. This is like a gentle glow of a sun rising. You know the sun is going to come back up after when the sun goes down, you know it's going to rise back up. There's no part of your mind that thinks that's not going to happen. And it's like every time you two separate, there's this energy of we will find each other again, whether it's this life, next life, etc. Yeah, you and this person have a soul tie. That doesn't mean you're destined to stay together. And it does look like he's bringing an emotion to you. Okay? The key to this does seem towards the end of 2025. At least midway. This connection, you two coming together and being able to get to those next stages, the earliest would be June of this year. Okay? There's still a lot of left path, right path choices that are to be made to see exactly before you come together. You haven't hit that point of this connection yet. Okay. All right, Suman, you would like a general pull. You're feeling very positive when it comes to the choices you've made within your own career, healthy boundaries with people, love, and you've really started to explore I'm seeing that for a while, maybe you were set on one type of individual. Like you had a type. But now you just like with life, things develop, things change. Your tastes, just like your taste buds, they change throughout time. And you've had your eyes now on somebody who maybe is different than a different look or vibe than somebody you've ever really thought you'd be with, but you like this, and this person's entered your life at a time where you truly can see the bigger picture. This person, they haven't had their masks off to each other yet, so they're still in that state of getting to know and putting your game face on. There's a difference between having your game face on for, presenting the most proper version of yourself, if you will, and then having like a full-on fake mask. You guys can see it's like a transparent type of feeling. They're wanting you to develop this connection and see that it is a green flag that they haven't thrown themselves at you. You've had a dynamic your dynamics in the past when it comes to love is people that was kind of like as soon as you started talking, they were like, I want to be with you, you're my soulmate, blah, blah, blah. And that's, that's an unhealed person. They may not realize it at the time, or maybe they do, because everybody's different. But if somebody's throwing those types of words and energy right at the beginning, a lot of times, 8 times out of 10, it's somebody who's not really ready at all for what they think they're ready for. You have somebody now who is genuinely going at the right pace and wants to get to know you, not who they think you are. All right, Alvin. Let's go ahead and give myself a drink. All right. Alvin, what your guides want you to keep in mind as you enter a 5-month blank period of space for love and life to reset. What does Spirit want you to focus on? What do they want you to keep in mind during this next 5 months? That right now, the more people that you allow, put it this way, going into this separation, this hermit mode from love, don't go ghost on friends and family that you know it's a really hard way to express the feelings that your friends and family have, because it's like they're used to you kind of going in and out of hermit mode. And some people in your life have kind of hit a point where they're like, unless he reaches out to me, and this means like friends and family, you know, I'm not gonna like continuously reach out, but I don't want them to think that I don't care about them. But the big thing Spirit's wanting you to know is part of this separation and taking your focus away from romantic love is transmuting that love into another place that could have been neglected for a while. I'm not saying to not go into hermit mode and do that inner self-reflection, but there needs to be a balance. They don't want you to go from 0 to 100. In 2025, this needs to be a year of community. This is a year a lot of you are going to meet found family, soul family, romantic partners. And years before, like 2022, 2023, and even 2024, in a sense, were about that building your new structure. A lot of it took being alone. Spirit wants you to keep in mind that even though, yes, you're putting yourself in a reset period for love and romantic life, that does not mean you keep yourself recluse from everybody and fall into self-exile. Right. Michelle, you would like to know, did your boyfriend cheat on you from the beginning of the relationship? Right. No. Okay. There has been unfaithfulness since the beginning of this dynamic. I don't think they could have given me a more perfect card, because this is the first round card, and you're asking, has this been from the beginning? I see that yes, this has been from the beginning. I'm not saying that they've been sexually active or etc. with people, but there's, from the point of view to talking, I don't see there being a transfer from when it's like, oh, I can flirt with whoever, you know, I feel I want to, because I don't have a commitment to a person, to talking to somebody and starting making that line where it's like, hey, even though I'm not committed to them, like I'm seeing the potential, so I'm gonna start putting kind of like boundaries on who I allow myself to act that way with, and then going into full commitment where you're like, no flirting at all, no, those are boundaries, etc. That mental progression I don't see with your person. I see somebody that since the beginning of you talking has stayed in this mindset of, oh, I can flirt with whoever I want to. And sometimes there might have been 1 or 2 times that it did lead to sexual interactions with other people. But since the beginning, I don't sense that there was faithfulness. All right. Now, Nikki Minko. Should you accept the new job offer you are receiving? Yeah, you should receive this new job, or excuse me, you should accept this new job offer you are receiving. The current area you are in, they may actually end up trying to offer you more money or etc. once they see that you're deciding to go forward. But the thing is, this company should have done those things before this point. This other job, if you decide to stay where you are right at that finish line where that job that's going to give you not only just the pay you're worth, okay, but also the emotional, like, the ability to feel that you can, I'm trying to find the right way to word this. You've had bosses and etc. in the past where you had to stay shut and you couldn't express your emotions. It would be counter-reactive. It would come back to haunt you, if you will. This new area, this new job, this new boss you have is somebody that not only will be there for you in the state of professional, but also understanding the importance of your feelings, your emotions, and what you're going through in life being more than you're a worker for this job. You've had workers in the past that you've had coworkers you've had bosses in the past that totally would just act like you're not a human, and it didn't matter if you needed to take time for yourself for mental health or etc. This company knows what they're losing with you. You're a person that is like one person that does 3 people amount of work. And companies who abuse those type of workers, they're not going to stop just because they see that you're leaving. They're going to go ahead now and give you something to try to keep you, and then things would fall back into that same cycle. You should take this new job opportunity. All right, Jessica Hernandez. You're a Leo. Is your Taurus a soul tie? Okay, remember I'm here for you. This Taurus is not a soul tie. This connection is something, though, that is serves a deep purpose. I do feel more of a karmic, somebody where, yes, there is intensity, there was a lot of sexual attraction, but this is not a tangle partner effect. This is somebody who it's like they came to your life to like knock out a certain timeline, to like go through an ego death. And the connection, Spirit's saying that out of all the connections you've had, you would probably rate it like a C. I know that's a weird way to put it, but it's true. It's like, you're like, man, you know what, that makes sense. Like, I definitely felt something different with it, but there were still times I'm like, man, am I making this connection fit? Am I making myself kind of just, instead of accepting a person for who they are, more just like pushing off my instinct with certain things? This connection, I'm not saying for you to go either, and if you're still in some form of communication or whatever, stop the whole dynamic, but you may want to reassess where your heart is actually speaking to your mind on if this is a soul tie or if this person is just something that's came into your life for excitement and for a lesson. All right. Now, Caddy, you're a Scorpio. Is it time to move from your current home location? Okay, you're going to have a little bit more time where you currently are, but you are on the complete right track. Okay, the place you are is healthy right now. It may not be exactly where you want to be, but you appreciate and you love where you are and you do feel comfortable. You can sense, you're like, man, I know that there's something else next. But it's that willpower to see that right now you have the ability to save. You have the ability to have like a different like a form of a bond of a connection also from with I'm sorry, I'm just hearing that when you end up moving, this is going to be somewhere that's out of your general area. The friends, the family that you can just drive down the road and see right now, it won't be that way. So yes, you're correct that pretty soon it's going to be time to move on. I mean, you got a minimum, okay, a minimum of 3 more months that they're saying you should be in the mindset of saving and being there and letting what opportunities migrate to you, okay? But I do see before 2025 is over, you getting on a plane, you going at least and checking out some new places, new opportunities, to the point of actually moving all of your stuff overseas. Definitely on the right track, my friend. All right, Area. You're a Libra. You'd like to know what's next in your life? What's the next big life-changing event that this person is going to receive? All the hard work coming together, happy, excited moments. What's the next holiday? What is our next holiday? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I know it's not this, but this is the holiday I keep seeing. By November, there's going to be a connection that you have really been investing a lot of either spiritual or physical or both investment into. There's somebody where they could even be like away from you. They could be overseas. Interesting. This could be a person that's part of the military or their job took them far away from home. But they come home during, like the holiday season this year. And I'm not saying like the whole Hallmark shit where like they come back to your hometown and you like fall in love with somebody. It feels like this is something that's more... It's more family-based than love. You have okay, I see. Okay, well, you have love in 2025. There's no doubt about it. But this big thing that they're wanting you to focus on, you have a lot of cool things that are going to be happening to you before this. But this is the next big event that they really want to heighten. If you have like a brother or sister or somebody that you haven't been able to see in a long time, it looks like you guys are going to be able to be all together and make this... I'm just seeing being able to present something like a gift or where you live now, etc. Okay, the gift of showing your success to your sibling. This is interesting. This has to be a found family member that you see as a brother or sister or the blood brother and sister, etc. And the last time you interacted, the last time you were together, things were so different. And it feels like in November, you are going to be able to really like not even reset your dynamic, but see how grown you probably are, the younger one, and you're just so excited for them to see everything you've already completed and you're continuing to progress in your life, and they're so deeply proud of you. Wow, this is really beautiful. You got a lot of cool stuff. You got a lot of cool things that are going to happen before November, of course, but they're wanting you to be really excited for your holidays this year. You're going to be able to experience like the meat and the potato holidays with a family member you haven't been able to see in a long time. All right, that concludes this group of super chatters. I'm now going to create the next group, but here's the thing. These guys, I've already cut off. The super chatters I will answer for this stream. Everybody I list now, you guys are going to be the first ones I answer on. You're going to be the first ones that I answer on my stream tomorrow. Okay. So let me go ahead and add those people. All right, Vickers. Got you. And your question is, okay, you're just wanting a general pull and you're a Scorpio. Got you. All right. All right, perfect. No, you didn't get skipped, Area. I did yours. No, yours was literally the last one I just did. All right. All right, that is it for today's live stream, guys. Now, you still have a chance to win a free reading. All you got to do is migrate with us over to Twitch at UncleBronze Official, okay? That is linked in my social media platforms on my YouTube channel. And basically over there, I give away one reading to a person by random. There is a giveaway you enter yourself into. The Twitch is UncleBronze Official. Once you join us over there, make sure you follow me and then get the keyword of the stream, which is on my screen. You comment it into the chat, and that's what enters you. And at the end of that stream, I will pick the person that gets the free reading. Over here, it was everybody here is like it's like a one question type of dynamic. That person who wins the free reading on Twitch is an entire reading. So that's 6 questions on a specific topic that get answered. Again, Twitch at UncleBronze Official. And after most live streams, I do an after stream on Twitch. So what we're going to do now is I do allow myself to have about a 5 to 10 minute little breather while I cleanse before logging on to Twitch. I am going to go ahead and turn on Twitch right now, but it's going to be on my starting stream screen for about 5 to 10 minutes. Alrighty, that's what I feel cool. That's what we feel. We're gonna pause it today. I will be back tomorrow, anywhere in between 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, starting off for our next live tarot video stream. I'm decompressing now. I'm feeling all my energy. Whoosh. All right, you guys are awesome. I'm gonna go ahead now, open up Twitch, and I'll see you guys whenever I see you. Let's get it.